Todd Chrisley was beaming with joy and pride for his baby boy Grayson on Instagram this weekend. Likewise, his wife Julie was also feeling pretty emotional regarding their baby boy. What has Grayson Chrisley's parents feeling all types of emotions on Instagram? Well, as we previously reported, Grayson Chrisley hit a massive milestone. A milestone that was celebrated across Instagram by all of his family members. Savannah and Chase Chrisley took the teasing sibling approach. Julie and Todd Chrisley, however, took the emotional and proud parent approach. Todd Chrisley shared a photo of himself with an arm around his youngest son Grayson on Instagram. They both flashed their brightest smiles for the camera. Todd kicked off the caption of his Instagram post by admitting he could not be more proud of his baby boy Grayson. A swipe reveals Todd's post contained a second photo. The second photo was the same photo Julie Chrisley opted to share on her profile. It was a photo of Grayson Chrisley and his gorgeous homecoming date. The photo featured Grayson slipping the corsage onto his date's wrist. The duo appeared to be smiling at two different cameras. Grayson Chrisley doesn't appear on Instagram nearly as often as the rest of the Chrisley family. Fans assume they see less of Chloe and Grayson because they are still children. Fans assume that once Grayson is an adult, he will likely be much more active on social media. He, however, could follow in Nanny Faye's footsteps. As she has an Instagram profile she barely ever posts on. Chrisley Knows best fans were thrilled Todd shared sweet photos from Grayson's homecoming night. They couldn't believe how grown-up Grayson looked. Many admit they were taken back by his long and stylish hair. Here's some of what fans had to say. Inside of an hour, the photo accumulated over 60,000 likes. Chrisley Knows best fans were clearly here for the sweet photos. And they were thrilled the family shared this moment with fans. Are you surprised by how grown Grayson Chrisley looks? Do you think it is sweet how proud Todd is of his son? Share your thoughts in the comments. And keep coming back to us for the latest on the Chrisley family. From the moment Grayson entered the world, Todd Chrisley felt a shift in gravity. A recalibrating of purpose so profound that the universe seemed to pause just long enough to allow a father to recognize exactly what true pride felt like. In the soft glow of nursery lights, while his older children slept soundly just beyond the door, Todd's gaze lingered on the baby boy in his arms. It was a moment not merely of reflection, but of transformation, the promise of what could be, illuminated by the innocence of tiny fingers curled around a father's thumb. Todd's pride in Grayson was not merely rooted in the necessities of fatherhood, the late-night feedings, the burp cloths, the soft hum of a lullaby, but in something deeper, more intricate. He watched as Grayson discovered his hands, briefly startled when those small fingers appeared in front of his eyes, then captivated as he tried to make sense of these new extensions of himself. It wasn't just a milestone for the baby, it felt like a miracle for the father. In the earliest days, Todd felt the unimaginable spectrum of emotions: sleeplessness, vulnerability, and near-ecstatic joy all wrapped into one. Each coo and gurgle was a burst of color in an otherwise monotonous routine. Todd found himself marveling at the simplicity of his son's contentment. How a clean diaper or a gentle rock in his arms could evoke such peacefulness. In those quiet hours, Todd understood that every small gesture would grow into something monumental one day. He observed the way Grayson's eyes, newly bright and alert, tracked the movement of a mobile above his crib. Little details that once passed unnoticed, a speckled bird, a dangling cloud, became holding points for that quiet composure. Todd realized that curiosity, that spark of wonder, existed from the very start. There was inquisitiveness in every blink, every flicker of attention. Even in infancy, Grayson seemed to possess a heart driven to explore, to understand, to feel life's countless textures. By the time Grayson began to sit up, Todd felt a swell of pride unlike any other. The moment those first wobbly uprights happened was like watching a fledgling spread its wings. Tentative, awkward, yet poised for growth. With a small cushion as safety net, Grayson balanced himself, testing the limits of his own strength and balance. Todd's chest throbbed with emotion. It was never just about physical ability. It was about resilience and bravery. In that simple act of rising, Grayson spoke volumes about his will to stand. As the months passed, picture after picture documented the metamorphosis. Todd often found himself flipping through them during late-night vetting sessions or drives back home. Each snapshot was a testament to evolution. The first smile bursting forth. The first time Grayson clapped his hands after a successful attempt. The racing, triumphant crawl across the living room carpet toward the goal of a squeaky toy or the mirrored reflection of the photographer's lens. Todd realized that what made him most proud wasn't the milestones themselves, but the manner in which Grayson met them. He pursued every challenge with unbridled enthusiasm. Too young to understand obstacles, but old enough to sense possibility. That relentless optimism lit the house on its dullest days. Even when the world wore a cloak of gray monotony, Grayson's exploration ignited bursts of warmth and affection in Todd's heart. There was a dance in every step. Even when Grayson first tottered to his feet, hands grasping silently at furniture, eyes wide with concentration, the rhythm was there. Todd marveled at the synchrony between mind and body, at the courage it took for a baby to test gravity head-on, without hesitation. With every fall, Grayson paused, shook it off, and rose again. The pattern became a symbol for Todd. Fall. Recover. Try again. Grow. Through the lens of fatherhood, Todd began to see his own traits in Grayson. A tenacious streak, a playful spirit, a profound need to connect. Todd's pride was deeply rooted in recognition. Seeing himself echoed back in this remarkable little boy, and yet knowing that the boy was forging his own identity, noble and bright in its originality. When Grayson began to babble, his sounds full of rising inflections and expressive pitch, Todd sensed the first lines of a story unfolding. A story in which this boy would one day speak his truths, his dreams, his laughter into the air. But these babbled words were already a melody unto themselves. Joyous, unfiltered, infinitely promising. Todd embraced each utterance as the first instrument in a lifelong composition. Every first was like a constellation in the night sky. First tooth, first word, first independent step. Todd cataloged them not out of necessity, but out of reverence. There was something sacred in moments like the first time Grayson grasped a book, the way his fingers spread across the cover. It signified more than an interest in pictures. It hinted at an appetite for knowledge, story, and imagination. Todd's pride swelled, not just in the achievement, but in the desire that underlay it. Yet it wasn't only the milestones that defined Todd's pride. It was the softer, subtler interactions, a quiet moment by the window as sunlight danced across Grayson's eyelashes. The way he nestled into Todd's shoulder after a long day, content and calm. The gentle, sleek breath, a reminder of how precious and fleeting these early years truly were. Todd felt the weight of responsibility alongside the weight of wonder. Even in frustration, Grayson's small tantrums when a toy wouldn't turn on or a snack was denied, Todd found beauty. The intensity of the emotion, fierce yet innocent, spoke to the boy's passionate nature. As tears rolled down chubby cheeks, Todd held his son close, marveling at how entirely alive he was. Grayson wasn't just growing, he was feeling, deeply. Fully, Todd's pride also took root in Grayson's relationships, with siblings, with extended family, with the rhythm of everyday life. He watched as Grayson's older brothers and sisters swooped in to entertain him, building towers and sharing giggles. There was a natural protectiveness in their interactions, an interwoven harmony that made the household hum with connection. For Todd, it was proof that this boy already had the love and community he needed to thrive. One milestone felt like a moment of transcendence. Grayson's first solo giggle, unprompted and irrepressible. It lifted something off Todd's soul, the weight of worry, the pressure of perfection. That single laugh rippled across his heart, igniting hope and timeless gratitude. In that laugh was an echo of all the joy a family could generate when hearts are wide open. As Grayson moved into toddlerhood, Todd's pride took on a new dimension. The little boy who once clung to furniture now raced across open space, fearless. He waved at passers-by, scrambled up slides at the playground, and marveled at puddles and twigs with equal intensity. Todd recognized in these acts a burgeoning explorer, an adventurer who would not settle for the obvious. Sometimes, in the gentle pre-dawn hours, Todd sat on the floor by Grayson's bed, watching chest rise and fall in sleep. Each inhale held the possibility of 1,000 dreams yet to come. Todd admired how life had gifted him this child, innocent and full of potential. The responsibility of guiding him felt immense, but so did the honor. Every prayer whispered, every plan made, all emanated from a place of unwavering hope.